Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to all the viewers who are here. I am your host Ibrahim Shabbir from Smart Sims Academy. आज का जो हमारा today's sessions जो हमारा है वो है Rising Children with High Self Esteem जो प्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं हमारे साथ मिस ज़ैनब मोइज़। मिस ज़ैनब मोइज़ का मैं छोटा सा आपके पास इंट्रोडक्शन दे दूं कि she has done masters in education leadership and administrator from Australian Catholic University. She has then specialized in general history and has conducted subject-based training for social studies and Pakistan studies as well. She holds a bachelor degree of BEd from Karachi University, and she is IGCE graduate from Australian Catholic University and certified secondary teacher from Notre Dame Institute of Education. Ms. Zainab, we welcome you here in Smart Games Academy, and I hope that the viewers will enjoy the session with you today.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Hello.
Yes, Miss, please go on. Hello, Ms. Zainab, can you hear me? Hello, Ms. Zainab, can you hear me?
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Thank you, Ibrahim Bhai, for inviting me today. It's a great pleasure to share what we have learned all these years through experiences, through class. Being into a classroom is like everyday learning something exciting, something new. Because every individual in your class is different, and you as a teacher hold a responsibility for each individual. So I think I'll be sharing a little, whatever I've learned through my experience today, and let's see, we can learn together, and we can support each other in actually raising our children with high self-esteem, because self-esteem is something very important, and we'll be discovering it throughout the session today, inshallah. What my objectives for today's sessions are, we'll be exploring what self-esteem is, why is it important for a child for its learning and academic success, basically. And we'll realize that every individual takes responsibility for her or his own level of self-esteem. Whatever we are, whatever our self-esteem is, it's our own responsibility. And we'll look into it how and why. Explore the ways to develop sense of self-confidence or self-esteem, and identify role of teachers and parents in building self-esteem. I'll try and cover it within this little time that I've been given. And whatever questions are, I'll try and address that also in this session, inshallah. So to begin with, I would just, pose a little question before we go. I would like you all to ponder for a minute and tell me that what I believe, what I am, and I'm proud of. Just ponder, and I would, appreciate if I can have certain responses in the comment box so that we can, build on our argument over it and continue. Okay. My question is, I am and I am proud of.
Ms. Zainab, I will like to answer it first that I am a teacher and I am proud of being a teacher. Hello, Ms. Zainab, can you hear me?
I'm sorry, my internet is a little troubling me today. I don't know why. So please bear with me and be here with me. Okay, thank you for bearing it. And I'll try and, build on what we were actually talking about. We were talking about who am I? This is a very important question that each individual needs to ask him or herself. And what is something that I am proud of? Is it something that I've done? Or I am proud of being me and, I. Basically, that's more important. And this is what, as a parent, as a teacher, we need to inculcate in our students, we need to provide them with. This is very, very important. Okay, now we'll look into first what self-esteem is before we go into further, and then I will help you identify this again. Okay, it's not what you are that is holding you back. So this is a very important quote that I feel like that describes my today's objective very well. It said, it's not what you are that is holding you back. It is what you think you are not. So to begin with, I'll begin with this note. Again, I will ask a question to all of you to take a minute and think, how do you define yourself? Do you always tell yourself that, no, I cannot do it. No, I'm not worthy. I must not be perfect. I must not make a mistake. I am not good enough. Nobody loves me. Or I love myself the way I am. See, there's no term, I personally believe that there is nothing that tells me that, I am not, that holds me. I do not believe that I am perfect, and I believe that being imperfect itself is very important. If you are perfect, then you would, shut off. Saturation would come in that, I do not want to improvise on anything that I have learned to. Hello. Okay. Am I audible? Hello. Ibrahim bhai, am I audible?
Yeah, we can hear you now. It's a little bit, the voice was cut before.
Okay, I understand because there's something wrong with my internet today. I'm very sorry about it. But see, how do I define myself is very important. And when it comes down to a child, it is very, very important because we basically help them, make a definition of their own that they carry with them for their lifetime. So whether we are going to tell them that, you are, we always want to want our children to become somebody who's very meticulous, somebody who's perfect. But what about helping him or her himself and making him or her love him or herself? That's the most important thing. So today we are going to discuss how are we going to actually make that happen. Is that possible to make it happen? And we'll look into certain examples also. Before that, I found a very, appealing picture somewhere on internet, and I feel this is something very important, and that describes what self-esteem is very well. What matters most is how you see yourself. So there's a cat who's seeing herself in the mirror, and she finds herself that she is a tiger. So this is how we have to make our children believe that they can do it. They are what they are fine, they're happy. They should love themselves the way they are. So we'll be exploring that. Again, there's a picture that you can see. There are two things. The picture is actually here showing you, number one, what reality, your perception is your reality. Very important. See, look at the cat here. She is looking herself in the mirror and she's finding herself. She's again the same cat that we were looking in the last picture.
Hello, Ms. Anna, we cannot hear you.
Okay, I'm back and I'm sorry once again for the distraction. So we'll look into this, that how we can shape our children's perceptions to change their reality, to help them build high self-esteem. That's what our topic for today is. Okay, Ibrahim bhai, is my voice clear?
Yes, miss. Your voice is clear.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, now let's look at this. Who is a self-managed person? What is our definition of a self-managed person? or we call it a perfect person, or somebody who has a balanced personality. So we will be looking at person who has a high self-esteem, who has a self-respect, self-confidence, self-awareness, drive, motivation, and emotional intelligence. This is a perception of a person who has a balanced personality. Now, before I move on, I would like to talk about what changes. Now, what makes this image? First of all, that I believe that I am a perfect. There are people who usually we find them talking about perfect. They say that I am perfect, but do you believe that there is something like that exists somewhere? There is no place when you lose your confidence. There is no time when you believe that you're emotionally a little sinking, or you are not motivated. There must be some times, but there are ways that we use to overcome those issues, and then again we come into our persona of a well managed or self managed person. So that happens to our kids also, isn't it? Now, I'll quote an example here. Let's watch a little video that might actually help us see uh, a self-esteem, a person with high self-esteem. There's a lady. Lizzie Velasquez. This lady, she was actually bashed. She was bullied for being the world's ugliest woman. You can see her. She had a syndrome that she could never gain weight. And because of that, she was bullied. She was trolled on internet, and people called her the ugliest woman in the world. Now see, she is suffering from a syndrome that she can never weight. She cannot, gain weight. She is told as the world's ugliest woman. But how she is going to change this reality into an
Hello.
Yes, Ibrahim bhai.
With the video, I think you have to share the entire screen, and then you have to share the audio as well from your computer. While sharing the screen, just click on the audio button as well, share audio, and then we can able to see the
Okay,
video.
okay. Is it? Okay. Can you see that image? Ibrahim bhai, can we see that image?
Which image you are talking about, miss?
The video.
Which I can let me share my screen as well. So I
Can
will
we
be able
see
to-
her? Can we
Yes,
see
yes,
this
we
lady?
can.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. I'll just talk about her in a while. She is a girl who is being trolled. She has a syndrome. She cannot like she cannot you know, gain weight. Look at her, the way she looks, and she has been trolled as the world's ugliest lady in the world. Now she has been, we can imagine the kind of difficulties she must have faced in her life. We can imagine the kind of bullying she must have faced, and we can imagine that she must have gone through a lot of emotional turmoil, right? Let's look into I would like later on, you can just go and watch the video if you want to, but we will use this example now and build 18 minutes, and it will take a lot of time. Difficulties did she face in life? If you look at, let's reflect on her journey, let's reflect on her life, that what kind of difficulties did she face? She was bullied, trolled, calling her. Am I audible, Ibrahim bhai?
Yes, miss, you are audible. We can hear you, Miss Zainab. You can continue.
Okay, now look at the difficulties. Think of the difficulties that she must have faced in her life. She was bullied, she was trolled, she was called the world's ugliest woman on internet. Then, how was she treated in school? So we look at, she. Now let's see that if we have a child in a school like her, how as a parent, as a teacher, would we play that? If we look into that.
Miss Zainab, your sound is cutting off.
What some? Okay. Let's look at this video again. Yeah, I don't know. It's unlucky. Unfortunately, cover that. Okay, we'll come to that part once again. We'll see that how this lady, if we're talking about. Hello.
Yes, Miss
Is this
Zainab,
clear, Ibrahim bhai?
Yes, it's clear right now.
Thank you, Ibrahim. Okay. Now let's look at this. Now let's hello. Is it now working? Okay, I'll share the link of the video later, and I would want you all to look at this video and reflect on these questions. Let's not waste our time because there has been a lot of disturbance. So I don't want to go into it, and I want to come down to our topic, that is raising our children with high self-esteem. When it talks about what is self-esteem, to have a children, to make our children grow with, to help our children grow with high self-esteem, we as a parent, as a teacher, needs to understand what self-esteem is, very importantly. So I would just put a very layman example here. What self-esteem is it comes from the word estimate. Self-esteem is how I estimate myself. Very simple. How much I value myself. So how much I value myself, how much I think I'm praiseworthy. Now these are two to be talking about. Okay. Now what is our role? There has been a question. There somebody is posted a question here that we constantly no. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know how much I have been able to communicate my idea today. We'll just directly go into the signs of healthy self-esteem. Now, when you say the children with high self-esteem, what signs would you feel that they are like, what tells you that this child has high self-esteem and this child has low self-esteem? How would you distinguish before you try and help the child? So you would say that, you will look into the child who feels accepted, who feels that he's liked, accepted by his peers, who would have many friends around, and who would not be struggling a lot to make good, friends. Would be kind of proud of himself, participate in all the activities. You would not have to really bring them into any. They believe that they are good. They could do good for others. They believe in themselves. They have the ability to express their needs. The children with low self-esteem at times could not even express their needs. We have a lot of children in our classroom who never get up and tell you that I have not understood. They never ask you a question, isn't it? They never, tell you that they were not clear about anything. And then when when it comes down to the final result day, you have been told that this child could not understand this particular topics. And when you ask the child, the parents would come to it and tell you that my child is very shy. He will never talk about it. He would never.
Hello, Zainab, can you hear me? Hello, Miss Zainab, can you hear me?
Okay, right. Now these children would never come and tell you that this is their need. They have not understood the question. They would never request you to re-explain. You know that those children But the child with high self-esteem, on the contrary, would you would find them clearly get up and tell you that they have not understood. They would pose a question. They would participate they will have a very healthy participation in the class. Negative experiences, do not discourage them. Whenever they have a negative experience, they pass through it very easily. Has the ability to identify strengths and weaknesses and accept them. And these children and these people would be able to accept their strengths and weaknesses. Otherwise, it's very difficult to help even an adult realize that he or she has certain strengths, and strengths, it's very easy to identify. But children lowest T would not even be able to identify their strengths. That's the pity of the situation. I'm sorry. That there are a lot of children in our classrooms issue every day. Children with low self-esteem, identifying them is very easy, but we need to be very
Zainab, can you hear me? There's a net issue going on. That's why we are having a disturbance a little bit. That it's not going on. Would like all the viewers to stay tuned with us. She will be joining us back again. I think there's a net issue going on at her place, so she must be back within a minute. Do share your comments, do share your whatever the questions you have in the comment box. You can even text us on our WhatsApp group as well if we are added there. And please do share your questions in the comment group so that we can answer you, or Ms. Zainab can answer your queries. If she was able to answer here, she will be able to answer you in your comment box. So do comment there, do share your questions about how to raise this self-esteem of a children, because they are the future of our country, and we have to build that much high stream in them so that they could do the best for their lives. She's back.
Okay, Ibrahim, I'm sorry, I was disconnected and I didn't realize. Hello.
Yes, I
I'll
can
just
hear
share
you.
the screen once again. Remember, is my screen visible?
Wait, ma'am. Now it will be visible.
Is my screen visible? Okay. Now we'll talk about the children with low self-esteem very quickly. The children with low self-esteem are self-critical. They are very hard on themselves. They do not trust their own self. They always try and find issues within themselves. They always believe that whatever happens wrong is because of them. They feel they are not good as other kids, comparing themselves with others. Thinks of time that they fail. They never think of their, it's very difficult for them to think at their achievements. They would always think that, okay, this is the time I failed. Okay. Doesn't matter. I will go on without the screen. If I'm audible, Ibrahim Bhai, then I think we should go on without the screen, and then I'll try and connect myself with the screen also.
Okay, sure. You can go ahead. We can hear you.
Ibrahim, think of times that they fail rather than succeed. They are they lack confidence because it's very obvious. Okay. Let's get back to what we were doing. Hello.
Yes, Miss. Yes, Miss Zainab, we can hear you. Hello.
Okay. Once again, I'm back. I'm sorry, there's a lot of issues that are happening. Okay, they lack confidence. They doubt themselves. They have inability to express their needs. Focus on the your weaknesses also. They do not find weaknesses in themselves, but they find weaknesses in others also. They feel shame, they feel depression, anxiety. They believe that others are better than feedback. You try and help them out, it will be very difficult for them to help. And they have a lot of fear of failure. Now let's look at why these children have low self-esteem. What mistake we as a parent and teachers do to help them, to develop that no child is born with a low self-esteem. It's basically something that is developed within the society and within our own homes, within our own classrooms. So we need to now question ourselves that are we too critical on our children? Are we really comparing with them with our siblings kids, our niece and nephews? Are we really comparing them with our neighbors kids, or maybe our other children in our friend circle? The other child is doing this, you are not doing it. See, your friend, he's doing this, you aren't doing it. So aren't we really critical on our children? And we at times try and uh, even we try and compare our children with our own childhood. We try and fulfill our own weaknesses through our child. We tell them that since I could not do it, now you do it. So since I could not learn to swim, you must learn to swim. See, since I could not learn to horse ride, you must learn to do it, isn't it? So there are a lot of things mistakes that we as parents, as teachers must be making, that actually helps, that actually develops this low self-esteem. If we look into, we may
Zainab, are you there? serious net issue is going on. That's why we have a certain disturbance here. Uh, so let's have a little bit chat up with this like this. That the viewers who are watching me, can you just tell me what issues do you get when raising a child or having a self-esteem to build in a child? What difficulties do you face usually?
Just help me out. Where did I disconnect? So I can continue from there.
Miss, you were just taking about the focus and
Ibrahim,
on that the points of less self-esteem. You are there on that point.
okay, so low self-esteem. We were talking
And
about
what
that.
mistakes does a
So
teacher
I just quoted you an
and
example. I was
yeah,
parent make. Okay, I was that. I said
we can't hear you. I think your voice is again gone. Hello. Okay, so as we're talking about, I have received one comment on that what difficulty that compare them with their siblings and being critical all the time and not appreciating their efforts are indeed the main reason for self-esteem. Yes, that's a big
hello,
reason.
Ibrahim.
Yes, Miss, we can hear you.
I'm back here. Let's. Hello, Ibrahim bhai. Can we? Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so we were talking about what mistakes that we as parents. Thank you, Ibrahim bhai. Okay, what mistakes which me as a teacher and we as teachers and parents make that actually develops this low self-esteem issue in our students and our children. So we compare them with their siblings. I just quoted an example. Hope that you have already heard this. There's a child in my class who is having the low self-esteem issue because the mother compares him with his brother who is 12 years older than this child. So the experience that these children have gone through is very different. So you can never experience that. I've seen, there are parents who come to pediatricians, and they would be saying that my first child was not growing this way, but this child is growing this way. My first child, when he was teething, he was not teething this way. See, every child it's completely individual, completely different. And we as parents and teachers should be very, very careful while we compare them with our other kids. Okay, so we'll go into, understand that we as parents and teachers have a lot of responsibility when we are raising a child, when we are, teaching a child. Now we look into that factors that influence self-esteem, that most people with low self-esteem earn it. I've just said it, that no one is born with a low self-esteem. It is something that develops, that we earn over a period of time due to others' mistakes and due to our own mistakes also. It's not only others, but it's ourselves also. But we as parents and teachers, yes, we do contribute a lot to a child's development. We do contribute a lot to a child's self-esteem. If we do not respect them, we expect them to respect, us. We expect them to respect themselves. It will not happen. So it begins from us. Let's see what factors influence the self-esteem of a child. As you might imagine, there are different factors that can influence self-esteem. Puberty and development, yes. Because a child goes through a lot of physical changes, emotion, high time when the child start comparing himself with other children, with his friends, with her, girls. They try and copy all those celebrities. They start making hairstyles like that. They start making even dupattas like that. So there's a lot of things that start developing in this age, and then they start disliking themselves at this point. That I am not beautiful. My friend is. There are a lot of factors. Obviously, they develop that kind of infatuation for others. That feeling they start developing at this age. So we as teachers of teens, we owe a lot of responsibility. This is basically that you get from your parents, inheritance. Low self-esteem could be genetical in a way that it's not something that comes in your genes, but you owe certain characteristics from your parents. And if I am a person with low self-esteem, I might be able to raise a child with low self-esteem. When I was 6 years old, I went through certain issues in my life. I underwent certain surgeries and all. So if my parent would have compared me with their
Zainab, we have lost your voice again.
Hello.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
I'm
Hello?
sorry. Again, the same issue came in. But it's about how we help them grow, how we make them believe about themselves. If I ask you a question today that, are you beautiful? So you would, rather take a minute to think that, that minute, why should I take that minute to think that am I a beautiful person or not? I must not take that minute because I believe is beautiful in her own way, and that's self-esteem. I are not you. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Please. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, miss, we can hear you.
Am I audible?
Yes.
I'm sorry. There's a lot of things that I'm facing today. Okay. Okay, let's look into the next thing. Personality type. Every individual has a different personality. Now, parental involvement, very, very important. What kind of, how involved you as a parent are with your kids? Where are you dictative? Are you over authoritative? That will also, they also, cause low self-esteem in your child. Or if you're not too authoritative and you're totally get decisions and you're not involved, that may also fall into a lot. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Ibrahim, am I audible now?
Yes, but you are audible for a few minutes and then again your voice goes off.
Am I audible? Hello.
Yeah, right now you're audible.
I really don't. I'm not liking it at all. What did I say? That genetics is something that if you are a parent with low self-esteem, you might give it away to your child. Okay, we'll go into parental involvement. Now, if you are a too involved parent, if you are very dictative, if you are a kind of a dictator parent who would want your child to do the way you want to do everything, or if you have given them complete autonomy, you have given them that jo tumhe karna hai karo, fir mere paas mat aana. So both may fall into low self-esteem children. Why don't we tell them that no, whatever you want to do, let's do it together. Let's make a decision. Let's make a rule together. Let's do it. So that might let the child have a high self-esteem. You have to make him or her that yes, I'm there. I'll share an example here once again. Somebody I had a very severe car accident few years back. Now this person had expecting his dad to be very angry about, because he, being an under 18, took away the car and had a crash and this. But the father, when he came to the hospital, he said, "Beta, tumhe to kuch nahi hua." So this, it's okay. तुम ठीक हो ना, गाड़ी तो आ जाएगी. I know it's not easy to say this. ग्लास भी जब टूटता है तो हम क्या कहते हैं? Glass टूट गया. How do we react? Piece of glass or anything else in this house? I'm most worthy. The other things in my house is less important than I am. So that would give your child a lot of confidence. Life experiences, again, the kind of life experience they would, come across, the way we react to it. Okay. Okay. Okay, Ibrahim, am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay, so the kind of experience our child would have and the way we react to those situations, they really matter. Then the physical health of the child may also be a reason that the child may suffer from low self-esteem. So we, as a teacher, we have to be very, very cautious, and as a parent also, that if my child is going through a certain medical, physical or mental health condition, then I have to be very, very careful. So while talking about anything to that child, so because otherwise that may health may develop a very uh, less worthy kind of feelings in the child, that he believes that he or she is kind of is not worthy, not valuable. No, we have to be very careful in this condition. Thoughts, the kind of thoughts a child is having, and the kind of thought you as a parent have. Again, if you have very negative thinking, if you always think about people negatively, talk negatively about people at your home, if you tell them that ये तो ऐसे ही है, yeah, we're talking about family members in front of our kids, and we do not realize that are we very negative or are we very positive. So we have to be very careful what we talk about in front of our children, especially when we are talking about schools and teachers. We become very we try and be very fair, but we do not understand that what kind of impact this would have on my child. Hello. Okay, I'm back. Let's see if it works now. I've tried once more time. Okay, so are we clear till thoughts, Ibrahim bhai?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we would be very clear about what thoughts are we sharing in front of a child and with our child. If we always thought, if we always share negative thoughts with our children, then they would. Okay, okay. So let's go to the next thing, that social circumstances, the circumstances in which the child lives, that also matters a lot. So as a teacher here, we owe an extra responsibility. See, I've been working with many schools since many years, and I've worked with underprivileged children also, and I've come across that the children cannot change their social background. They cannot change their financial background. They cannot help anything that is at home. But as a teacher, I can make a difference to that child's life. If that child does not have, a good, if he comes from a broken family, he or she cannot change it. If the child comes from a family where the father has already expired and the mother is a single mother and she's
Hello.
hello. Yes. Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Audible, and I feel like not asking this question to you again and again because I understand there's a lot of happenings. But chalo, let's move on. We talk about social background, social circumstances. This is something that a child could not help. Am I was I clear till here, Ibrahim bhai?
Yeah.
See, I've just said earlier also that I've worked with a lot of schools, and I've worked with underprivileged children also. I've worked with children who comes from different social backgrounds. Now, this is something that the child has nothing to do with. The child cannot change. He or she cannot make a change in his. He might be wish. It's his wish to, one day he wakes up in the morning and something like a fairy tale happens to him, but it does not happen in reality. If he comes from a broken family, if he or she comes from a family which is actually dealt by a single parent, so there must be a lot of issues that the child is going through, and this child is having a genetic low self-esteem here. The mother herself, who's a single mother, is going through those issues, and she is actually transmitting her low self-esteem vibes to her child. So as a teacher, I think there's a lot of responsibility that comes to us, that how would we deal with their child. We have to be very, very critical. We have to be very, very sensitive about. We have to empathize with that child. Even if we quote an example in the class that we feel like that this is going to hurt the child, so then we have to be very, we have to be very courteous in that sense. We have to be very cautious before we do it. Let's take an example of Father's Day activity. We know that there are 3 children in my class who does not have a father. The father has expired or something has happened. So what are you going to do on the Father's Day? How would you empathize with that child who is actually having low self-esteem and he's shying out from that activity, he does not want to participate? So we as a teacher owe a responsibility. Now we'll tell them that our mothers could also become a father, Let's appreciate our mother who is a father also on this Father's Day, something like that. So we have to remold our lesson plans. We have to remold the activities that we have to do, and we have to always think at the psychological and sociological aspects of our classroom when we actually make a lesson plan. We have to think of each and every child, and therefore the school, as a school head, I ask my teachers to make their lesson plan every day. I do not ask them to let them use others' lesson plan. This is the reason. Then how would you empathize with those children with any activity picked up from anywhere without contextualizing it? You can pick up. I'm not saying you cannot, but please contextualize it. Think about the people, the audience of your class before you go into any such thing. Okay? We'll go into the next thing, that is reaction of others. Now, others' reactions also influence our self-esteem. If there's a child in my class, I know that Okay. Now see others' reaction. Now see, there are a number of. This is the kind of question that just came to me when we begin. There's somebody who said that if I am helping that child, but the other people around me, they are kind of shattering the self-esteem of that particular child, then how would I help? So basically, you need to talk. The only thing that you could do is to talk with it. Okay. Basically, we need to talk and counsel here. We have to tell others that this is, at times there are teachers who are very biased about certain children. So we need to talk to our colleagues about it. We have to talk about the issue that the child is, suffering. Because every child has their own way of actually showing their low self-esteem. All the children would not shy out. There would be few who would be very rowdy, who would tell you that, okay, if you believe I can't do it, I will not do it. So we have to think, we have to develop a think tank in our school, we have to sit together, we have to discuss about it. Even at our homes, at times you and your partner may not be at the same page when your child is going through certain situation. So you need to talk about it, you need to be very, develop that sensitivity for that particular child. And if others could not understand, but you should not give up trying. That's the basic thing that one can do actually. Comparing self to others. Now I think this is happening everywhere, and the main reason is this. I am very sorry to say, people are posting their life every day on internet, and without thinking, even we are harming a lot of self-esteems every day. We are fueling, the media as a fuel, that is providing to that is actually burning this self-esteem thing actually. Children of this teenage, they look at their friends life every day on internet without thinking that it may not be the way it is portrayed. They would start comparing themselves to others, and that fantasy actually leads to a low self-esteem. Now, the toll of low self-esteem, children with low, I think I've covered most part of it, but we'll just try and cover it. Children with low self-esteem, they feel they're not worthy, they don't develop self-advocacy skills, they lack confidence, they do not like to face the world. And for that, they have different ways of showing it. At times, they'll be very quiet, shy, backbenchers. At times, they'll be the rowdies of your class who would just bang everything down. They have their own ways of showing their frustration. And they have low academic performances. They're not willing to participate. They lost interest in studies, seek negative attention. Very important. These are those children who kind of disrupts the class, who are very destructive at home. Whenever you leave them alone, they would destruct something. So they're actually looking for negative attention. Now you have to make it very positive. Tell them that, give them that attention without making them, very keen on that, and asking them to, letting them getting into certain situations which are which may harm themselves also. At times we kind of ignore them, so give them some little extra attention, but do not always give them, incentives. अगर तुम ये करोगे तो मैं तुम्हें ये दे दूंगी, अगर तुम ये करोगे तो मैं, that will make them lusty. They'll become greedy. They will not become there won't be any high self-esteem. They might do that task for a while, but हमेशा आप उसको praise नहीं कर सकते कि नहीं तुम तो बहुत अच्छे हो, तुम तो सबसे अच्छे हो. ये नहीं करना. You have to be very critical. You have to be very, you have to be very cautious. You cannot always tell them that no, तुम ही हो बस सब, क्योंकि उसको खुश रखना है, उसका सेल्फ एस्टीम हाई करने के लिए दूसरों का लो कर दिया. तो ये भी आपको ध्यान में रखना है. You have to be very tricky on that. Praise them sometimes it's okay. You have done it. It was your work. Something like that. Okay, develop self-defeating ways to deal with challenges like quitting, avoidance, silliness, and denial. This is what we are thinking about, that these children cannot give up peer pressure. They try and say that, they try and a kind of self-defense, and they try and say that, they quit. Simply, I don't want to do it very easily. They try and avoid the situation, and they do not seek for help when needed. They will never come to you and tell them that I am in trouble. So you have to approach them. Okay. So this is most. I've covered that role that you as a parent and teacher can also play. I would like you all to look at your, best recipe for self-esteem. What do you think that a child with high self-esteem should have? What I as a parent can put into, or I as a teacher could put into, to develop that high self-esteem? Because the role of parent and teacher is very important. Students have higher self-esteem.
Hello. We have lost our voice again. We are getting the. You can even share your ideas with us, those who are watching and those who will watch later. You can share your ideas with us as well. That what are your strategies do you follow to develop the self-esteem in your child at your home, at your school, if you are a teacher or anywhere else. If you are even encouraging your colleagues to have develop their self-esteem, you can even comment us and show us what methods do you take to do that.
Thank you, Ibrahim Bhai,
Yes,
for
Miss Anna.
concluding. Okay, I would just put here that parents and students they have a very important role because students who have higher self-esteem and are more resilient when they perceive mistakes as experiments from which to learn. Basically, they have to understand that mistakes are. It's okay to make a mistake. You cannot tell them that you cannot make a mistake. You should be perfect. It's okay to make a mistake. We can make a mistake, but we have to learn from it. And we as parents needs to fill our child's bucket of self-esteem so high that the rest of the world cannot poke enough holes to drain it dry. So this is the note that I would like to finish on. If you want to, if you have any questions, you can post. You can ask me whenever you want to. I know there had been a lot of disruptions today. There are lot of issues, but maybe we can, I can ponder over it once again, and we can overcome it the next time we meet. If you want some extension of the session, we can always have it later. We can work out something more on it. We can also work on certain activities that could actually directly help to develop a student's self-esteem. So we can look into it. But right now, for now, I think that's enough. Thank you, Ibrahim Bhai. You can conclude.
Thank you so much, Zanabin. It was a very informative session for us, and let me tell you guys that she is one of the mentor for me. She is the one who has developed a self-esteem in me, where I am here with this Smart Games Academy with you people and doing this type of stuff with you all people. So she is one of the, you can say, the mentor for me, who has helped me out in all the parts where I am about to have difficulties in my life, and she was there everywhere to guide me. Thank you, Sarapin, for
Thank
such
you
a
so
lovely
much, Ibrahim.
session. Thank you so much
Thank you
for
so
all your
much,
support.
Ibrahim. It's a great. Thank you so much. It was a great honor, and it was a really kind gesture from you. But I've just done a little part on my part, and you had been a great colleague and friend. Thank you very much for being here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarapin. Thank you so much. Thank you all the participants who are watching us, and so we will see you next time. We have a session coming up for the time management and for teachers and for the parents and the students as well. So we are looking forward to join you there. And this that session will be conducted by myself, me as well. So I will be waiting for you people to come and join me at that point. So till then, stay in this COVID-19 time. Stay safe, stay home, and stay blessed. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.